In recent times, Danish hunters in increasing numbers have traveled to Poland, Sweden, Scotland, and other countries to seek their fortunes of hunting. But as a matter of fact, Denmark itself has its own exciting pearls of hunting. Rifle hunting of deer is one of the top scorers, talking about popularity, and in this regard, Denmark is on a high level. You will in the film experience the hunt on all 4 species of deer in Denmark. Also the smallest but most popular, the gracious roe deer. No matter which species we're talking about, there is only one predator on top of them, Homo sapiens. It's only us as hunters who decide which animals are going to die. We decide if a stag shall be shot 1 year old, or if we want to let it have the age to improve its impressive antlers, which evolution and the necessary aging provides. In this film, you will see the hunt of roebuck, fallow stag, red stag, and sika stag. None of them will be shot by sudden chance or because of coincidence. All of them have been studied for a long time, and in the end have been selected for hunt because of mature age. Only in this way can you grow a large population of mature and strong males. What a pair of strong storks, approximately 8 to 10 years old. Handsome, right? But they have only reached this age because many hunters have limited themselves to enjoying the sight of them in the past years. As a population, the roe deer is a success story in Denmark. In 1970, the hunters shot approximately 30,000 roe deer. In 1996, the number exceeded 100,000, and it has remained at this number ever since. Only for a single year did it drop below 100,000, but several years the numbers have reached approximately 110,000 animals. In other words, in this time frame of 10 years, approximately 1 million roe deer have been shot in Denmark. In 1900, the roe deer was almost extinct in Denmark. Planting of trees, green fields in wintertime, the mange disease for foxes, and careful gamekeeping have created good circumstances for a strong population. Now is the time for Danish hunters to prove that they can give the bucks the needed age to show their potential. Approximately half of the roe deer shot by hunters are bucks, about 50,000. More than 80% of them have been shot during the hunt for bucks in summertime. This approximately 40,000 bucks have been shot on purpose by given hunters who have had plenty of time to select his prey through the scope. Handling the roe deer with care, Mr. Peter Zobel showed that you can benefit from it. The Danish record of 158.5 CIC points, shot at Fredlundslund Estate in northern part of Jutland in 1955, lasted for almost 40 years before he in 1994 shot a trophy of 158.88 points. In 1996, Mr. Zobel twice set a new record, first with a trophy of 161.05, then the enduring record of 172.2 points. Tremendous job. He has shot 4 out of the 5 biggest bucks shot in Denmark listed by the Danish Hunters Association. Not bad. In 1999, Mr. Anders Christoffersen shot a buck with a trophy of 162.63 CIC points in Værebro River Valley in the northeastern part of Zealand. Bucks at this size are a result of good circumstances in the particular area, of good genetics, and most important, lots of patience. Otherwise you won't reach gold medal, never mind Danish record class. It is a good buck which Mr. Per Stenfeldt is chasing. Per is a dedicated buck hunter and therefore always looks forward to the 16th of May, the start of the hunt, with the same expectations as a child longing for Christmas Eve. Per is on the Rodegård estate on the southern part of Zealand. In the early morning you can enjoy the sight of a couple of boys engaging in a customary clash of antlers. Not many places elsewhere in Denmark would these bucks survive when a hunter comes by. A thorough study of the trophies is only possible with strong quality binoculars. and the trophy is as clear as glass when the exquisite buck steps onto the scene. The buck is pointed out by Stalker of Rødegård. Per has reached an age where his teeth as a hunter no longer have the sharpness of youth. He is not in a hurry, but makes a methodical study of the trophy. Therefore, he gets the opportunity to enjoy the sight when the buck has problems with not only one, but two smaller bucks at the same time. A wild chase takes place in the cornfield, but the chase buck doesn't want to give in just like that. It's funny to see how the bigger buck tries to prevent the smaller buck from going to the left. But he fails. Even though you have smaller horns, you can have faster legs. Per has had a marvelous experience, but didn't get the chance to shoot the buck this time round. Later, he is being accompanied by the stalker at Rødegård, Mr. Kim Lindgren. He brings along his most important tool, very strong binoculars like the one Per has. They use the binoculars intensively, and Kim knows his animals. The buck is here somewhere. He knows that the grand moor buck, as he has named the buck, is normally consistently seen in the area. Owner of the estate, Mr. Jan Tolstrup, and his stalker work consistently on getting as strong bucks as possible. Rødegård has actually proved their claim that a patient trigger finger and clever selection is a perfect combination. Jan Tolstrup shot the biggest buck in Denmark in 2006, 151.15 points.
Er det meget almindeligt, at de gode bukke måske finder sådan en lille af?
Ja, det er også meget almindeligt, at når der står en god buk et sted, ja, så er det ganske almindeligt, at der kommer en god buk også efterfølgende, som overtager det. Som i et andet område over ved Hestemosen, hvor vi skød en kæmpe buk sidste år. Der står allerede en meget, meget stor, stærk buk i år. Lige præcis i det samme område.
Hvad er der gør det?
Jamen, det er jo stedet, den vil være. Og det er den stærke buk, det er den stærke mands ret. Den stærke buk bestemmer. Han vælger frit på hylde 1. Han tager den der, og den næste stærke tager den samme. Og sådan tror jeg, det er de fleste steder.
No more talk. Now Per is going hunting. Because of his awareness, it is he who spots the buck. A really good buck. It moves quickly through the field and at last disappears through the trees. But it was not the one Kim has chosen for Per to shoot. Buck hunting can give other good experiences, other than trophies, on such a lovely May morning.
Ja, så er det rigtig tykt med den også nu.
Nå, ser vi i lammen?
Det gør de nu her snart. Det gør de her snart.
Det kan sgu lige så over.
Og nu sker det her. Det var ikke længe, så ser vi ikke roerne så meget. Så begynder de at gemme sig, når de sætter lammen. Det er i starten for at beskytte deres lam.
Ja, hvor der er lige været 5 år.
Ja, og hun er
meget stor.
Hun er meget stor inde der, ja. Det kan være nok som helst. Vi har set de første lam i år. Det må vi se der. Ja. Så
fascinerende.
The buck is where Kim has expected it to be. The animal is very dominating in its behavior, and it does not tolerate any other buck nearby. Kim has estimated that there is no more potential in this individual, and therefore it has been chosen for today's hunt. Kim and Per carefully move forward without being discovered by the buck. Kim estimates that the buck will remain for at least a couple of minutes, eating as it is. But you never know. He wants Per to go further on because of a small hill in front of them, which can partly hide the buck. In his binoculars, Kim discovers something between them and the buck. a piece of fence. This can cause problems.
Jeg kan ikke se det herfra.
Now the hunters have advanced so much that Per, standing, can take a steady aim, supported by the three-legged shooting stick. Some long seconds lay ahead for Per. Per has a nice potential shot at the buck, but the animal remains behind the piece of fence, which prevents a sure and safe shot. Is Per close to getting his summer buck trophy, or just close to see the buck suddenly disappear? Now is the time. A good shot. The buck dies after a short sprint.
Super.
Okay.
Super.
Det var fattigt, den ikke fik fat af os.
Ja, det er utroligt med den vind, vi har her. Som har snydt før.
Ja, den har været meget speciel.
Jeg tror ikke, den holdt. Frygtede hvert øjeblik, den ville løbe. Super. Smadret godt skud. Endelig.
Ja, den har altså også drillet os. Halvanden dag.
Halvanden dag, ja.
Halvanden dag. Ja. Hvad er det? Halvanden time siden, den stod derovre ved træet, ikke? Og der tror jeg, der kunne vi ikke komme til at skyde.
Nej, det kunne vi ikke, desværre. Han stod jo rigtigt der. Så er det.
Men altså, det er jo gudskelov, at den så skulle jage rundt. Først er den smidt en gaffelbom ud, og så skulle den altså jage rundt med smaldyr.
Og så smaldyr også fik også en tur.
Nu kommer der en ny konge.
Kommer der en ny konge hernede? Satser vi på. Ja, det gør jeg.
Ja.
Så skal man se, hvad det er.
Det går også meget ned ad bakke her.
Det er kopieret her, så ja. Det vi ikke kunne gå langt tæt på ham, før vi kunne se ham.
Og det var det der, du mente?
Det var det, jeg mente. Lige skulle vende. Han skulle lige fri af det hegn. Eller den tråd, der ligger der.
Jeg kunne slet ikke se det.
Nej.
Altså, for jeg tænker, hegn, hvad mener du?
Ja.
Altså...
Nej, for den tråd, der jeg kunne se. Han stod lige bagved her.
Ja, så må den jo være Schweiz lige her i stedet. Der.
Masser her. Og her.
Ja.
Og se her. Masser. Gik ind her. Vi har Schweiz her.
Og Schweiz.
Masser Schweiz her. Så vi kan gå den vej, den nemme vej.
Der er en god fejning der.
Ja, det må man sige.
Der ligger kongen.
Lad os se på den.
Ja, nu må vi se på den.
Lad os se, hvad det er.
Lad os få den her ud.
Bedstemosebogen.
Bedstemosebogen. Hedder den det?
Den kalder vi den her. Den er i flere år.
Ah, det er en fin. Og det er den der, du snakker om. Hvor gammel tror du, den er, Kim?
Jamen, han er 5 år gammel. Når vi kan...
Man kan se, de er jo helt sammenvoksede.
Det er en ældre herre, det er han. Og han er meget, meget dominerende herude i det område her.
Ja, sikkert altså. Det har jeg jo set.
Det er meget, jeg jagter med i dag, ikke? Og det er lidt ærgerligt med alle de gode unge bukke, der går herude.
Men den var større sidste år, tror jeg.
Ja, det var han. Han var faktisk betydeligt større sidste år.
Okay.
God kugle.
Ja, det er okay. Så der var altså lidt fiber, fordi jeg synes, den har drillet os meget.
Ja.
Er det rigtigt? Og så da den stod langt. Jeg troede, altså da jeg tager riften op første gang, så du siger, så tror jeg ikke på det. Ja. Altså fordi jeg tænkte, den løber. Nu vil jeg løbe uafladeligt, ikke?
Lige præcis.
Og så var den jo faktisk meget rolig nu.
Det var den var fuldkommen at vi stod der med den her. Ja. Heldigvis ikke registreret på samme måde, som man gjorde de andre gange.
Nej.
Og jamen, det kan godt være, at du rystede lidt med kuglen sidder perfekt. Jeg tror, han var over 20 kilo om det.
Okay.
Bare 21 kilo, det vil jeg tvivle på.
Ja.
Nu bare. Efter vi begyndte at lave selektiv afskydning og bortskyde dårlige dyr, så er vores kropsvægt de sidste 3 år steget fra 16 til 20 kilo.
Ja, det er meget fint.
Ja.
Og det her også.
Ja, og det er jo selvfølgelig også det følger med det hele.
Ja,
For at lave store opsatser, så er der sunde dyr. Men jeg husker, at han var en 20 kilo, kan jeg nok bruge.
Skal jeg brække den her?
Nej, vi brækker ham op i Vidum, så vi ikke har det liggende herude, så vi får det helt ud. Så vi tager ham bare med her.
Yes, the hunt is over for Per at Rodegård Estate. It's a good buck. The weight is 366 grams, approximately 100 points. The caretaking of especially roe deer and red deer is a never-ending discussion. You can only hope for the sake of good results that everyone is willing to listen to other people's points of view, and that everyone will listen to and learn from other hunters' experiences. One thing is for sure, if you shot the bucks with milk in the mouth, then we'll never have good and strong trophies. Give them some peace, and you will achieve a bonus. It takes only a few years to make some strong bucks. Talk with your neighbor. For the sake of the animals, we have to share the hunting possibilities. Generally, it is important to make local rules for the hunt to make a solid fundament for a strong population. It is not possible to have strong bucks or stags if all hunters want to take advantage of every chance to a young buck or stag. The joy of expectation can be mixed with all kinds of flavors and desires. The weather is always fantastic, the game is everywhere, and you, as the main person, make incredible shots at the same level as David Crockett. Add to all this is a day that you can make your dream hunt in old Denmark. The only few hunters will ask for more. At least not Lars Nielsen. Ever since his young years, he's dreamt of having the possibility to hunt a mature fallow stag. Now the hunter from Jutland is about to fulfill his dream. The fallow deer is mating approximately at the same time as the hunt starts on the 1st of October. In all of Denmark, you find an increasing number of fallow deer. One of several reasons is because of outstanding cooperation among local hunters who make voluntary prohibitions. Only in this way can you build up populations which can cope with a measured hunt. The fallow deer at the Bonus Estate on Zealand have had the benefits of this peace for many years. The stags are chosen for hunt after long and thorough studies, and now Lars is hoping to see the results of this skilled work. He's thrilled at the chance of experiencing a fallow stag hunt during the mating season. All and every hunt for fallow stags at Bowness is under supervision of the stalker Mr. Morten Tamber. Most hunters are satisfied by the guidance of a local professional. Lars Nielsen is one of these.
Men jeg har faktisk glædet mig helt vildt til at komme over på Tøle. Også fordi at årstiden er jo rigtig. Den er flot nu i skoven. Og det er vel også den helt rigtige tidspunkt for brunsten. Jeg ved ikke, om vi rammer den nu?
Jo, det passer godt.
Okay.
Det står jo fra 10. oktober til 15. oktober, plejer man at sige, de topper.
Okay.
Det er lidt senere i år, så det passer. Det tror jeg ikke, vi kunne ramme bedre, end vi gør.
Okay, de snakker?
De snakker meget.
Okay.
Det tror jeg nok, vi skal få.
Okay. Det glæder jeg mig til at opleve. Ja. Og du har nogle gode pladser derinde, hvor de stiller sig, de gamle?
Det synes jeg.
Ja.
Det plejer at fungere godt.
Okay.
Så, har du skudt døjert før?
Nej, jeg har faktisk ikke. Og derfor har jeg da også ekstra glædet mig, kan man sige, for at komme herover og så prøve at se, om vi nu og så ovenikøbet skyde en dansk døjert. Det er lidt et ønske, som måske kunne gå i opfyldelse, ikke?
Jo, men vi skal gøre, eller jeg skal gøre, hvad jeg kan.
Jeg glæder mig i hvert fald.
For at få det til at lykkes.
Jeg tænkte på Bonus, det er sådan en halvø, der går ud i Roskilde. Hvor stor er Bonus?
Jamen, den er på lige godt 500 hektar.
Okay.
Hvor det er blandet skov og strandeng og agerjord. Ja. Mindst agerjord.
Mindst agerjord. Ja, det virker udenlagt, som om der er meget bøgeskov her. Ja. Det er det, der er hovedvægten.
Eller? Ja, det er egentlig... Jo, der er meget løvskov, ja. Men der er egentlig også fint med græn og tykninger.
Okay.
Hvad der er godt, når vi har til vores hjortevild.
Lige nok til.
Finish talking. Now we go for the fallow stag. As an experienced stalker at Bowness, Morton knows where to find the fallow deer during the mating season. But will he also be able to find the stag he has selected for Lars? The hunters have walked right into a flock of fallow deer. The men neglect the hinds and smaller stags completely. Where is the old stag? There. But because of being so sexually obsessed, the stag is in constant movement. Some smaller stags, in the hope of some love and pleasure, come and go all the time. The stalker asks Lars to be ready. They're just on the edge of the territory of the fallow stag, and they can hear his constant growling closing in.
Jeg tror, de står derovre. Lidt tæt lige derovre, tror de står.
Yes, Bowness is rich in fallow deer, but also rich in trees and branches. The hunters can easily see the stag, but a safe shot is out of the question. Patience is the only path to take. The hunting fever has placed its heavy hand on the shoulder of Lars, but the stalker still asks him to wait for a perfect chance. Now comes the tough time of waiting. Many hunters find problems in coping with waiting. But when everything ends successfully, they wouldn't have had it any other way.
Okay.
If Lars was capable of telepathic communication with animals, he would order the stag to move a few steps forward, instead of this seemingly everlasting growling on the same location.
Han kommer flot derovre. Nej, så stopper han. Nej, så han kommer ikke vej.
At last it happens. The stag moves forward, and a clear shot is now possible. Hit high on the shoulder, the stag makes its last forceful sprint through the wood before it stumbles and dies.
Det er jo spændende.
Tillykke.
Tak.
Det tog sin tid.
Ja, men han ville ud.
Ja.
Next chapter in the book of Lars's first fallow stag is the scenery, when he is about to make contact with his trophy. Is he as beautiful as he thinks? What does he look like?
Hold da kæft, mand. Det er i hvert fald en flot hjort. Det er helt sikkert med et imponerende udlæg. Og det er egentlig faktisk ret sjovt at se her, fordi den store bagsposser her, selvom de godt nok slår sig meget og er tyndhudet, men så er den går simpelthen, når den går og kaster hovedet tilbage, så bliver den helt tynd her. Det er faktisk ret sjovt lige at have lagt mærke til det. Og så bemærk venligt lige den her gode kugle her. Ser den ikke rigtigt? Ja.
be satisfied with a trophy like this. The antlers take a pure CIC gold medal. Lars is now Lars the Joyful. Now we change place from Zealand to Jutland, but the circumstances are the same. Another excited Danish hunter who hopes to experience his dreams come true. We've been hunting for a couple of days at the northern part of Djursland, more accurately the Emmersbo estate. After more than 10 years of very limited hunting and intensive caretaking, Emmersbo has succeeded in building a very solid population of especially red deer, but also roe deer, fallow deer and sika. When the animals have peace and the area at the same time provides sufficient cover and food, it's only a matter of time before the populations will increase in numbers. Niels Kajsen from Zealand has come to Emmersbo in the pursuit of an old goal, a strong old red stag. He knows from reports from Erik W. Peterson, and the now former owner of Emmersbo, that the possibilities are good. As a side dish, they see a lot of other game, as for example these two young stags. There are still many years before they reach the age at which their lives will be in danger when a hunter comes by at Emmersbo. Emmersbo is also involved in a voluntary cooperation concerning red deer and other game at Djursland. Niels and Erik have moved into the center of the wood. Here is a lot of roe deer and smaller stags everywhere. Now they have to decide the right strategy not to frighten the game.
Kom ind. Den vej fra. Altså gå tilbage. Op til højre og ind igen. Er det muligt? Fordi så du... Hvad? Vi skal helt ud til vejen igen. Okay. Men det er bare det, ligesom at der er fokus ind i det hjørne. Så man ved sgu ikke, om der står en stor hjort. Det er hjørne, det kan vi kigge over, hvis vi står derovre. Okay.
Wisely, Niels listens to Erik's local knowledge and experience. They go for a special stag, and now they have the great luck to see the whole herd, including the stag, coming practically right at them. From one moment to the next, Niels has a rush of adrenaline. This is a trophy worthy of a king. Can he control his hunting fever? The hoarse sound from Erik stops the stag immediately. Now is the time. But Niels has severe difficulties controlling his fever. A miss. There goes Niels' dream stag. The sound of Niels' breath tells how strong the effects of the hunting fever can be. A hard opponent to control, but at least no harm is done. It's a clean miss. Even chances served on a silver platter can an experienced hunter like Niels fail to get. It hurts a lot when it happens, but it's the first time Niels has experienced it. But if all trophies were foolproof in advance, the charm of the unpredictable hunt would disappear. Erik and Niels continue and see a lot of other game. While the hunting at Emmersbo is very moderate, the animals become active also during daytime. There are not many other private areas in Denmark where you can see a sight like this. Niels has not given up. He has several days at his disposal, and now he hunts on his own. A couple of times he's been close to a big seeker. He has the permission to shoot a mature stag, an 8-pointer, if he is lucky enough to see one. Every year, Erik Petersen has made fields especially for the game, but he also feeds them with beets and other things, costing in total approximately €30,000. All this food, combined with peace and quietness, shall of course have an appealing effect on the game. Erik estimates that in wintertime there are a minimum of 100 fallow deer, 150 red deer, 30 sika and 80 roe deer in Emmentsbo. Who wouldn't kneel for a sika like this? Here is a stag which actually is more of a rare sight in Denmark than a strong red stag. Now Niels has the possibility to heal his wound from the miss earlier. Now it's all up to the skills of Niels as a hunter and a marksman, which decides whether the very beautiful sika trophy shall hang on his wall at home. The stag runs as if it wants to go out to the hunter to meet its destiny. Is Niels that good a human being that Diana, the goddess of all hunters, gives a helping hand? Oh, it doesn't sound all too good with Niels's breathing. The hunting fever has had its effect on him once again. Is he capable to fight the effect of the fever this time, or will he make another painful miss?
En god dansk sika. Rigtig god sika. Det var stort der. God sika. God pyrs, god kugle. Den er gået 30 meter, der er skyde på. Den ligger ude, ja, 30-40 meter. Forind. Fantastisk morgen. Var herude, mens det var lyst, eller mens det var mørkt, og har bare været herude, og det har været koldt, men det har været helt fantastisk, og set masser af vildt. Og så kommer de her sikaer, og Jorden han træder ud alene, og jeg får langt om længe mulighed til en god pyrs, og afgive et godt skud. Det er dejligt. Og det er dejligt, han ligger lige herovre for ind. Det er helt suverænt. Nu skal jeg bare kigge. Jeg glæder mig til at se den.
The stag is not less impressive at close range. Niels has got himself a nice silver medal.
Det er en dejlig ord. Der har været en del hjorte herude, og lige pludselig, nu er skoven bagved os, der kommer han lunden og står og fejrer lidt. Og ja, kommer han ud og står lige i kanten her af marken, og ja, så får jeg skudt for at gå kugle, og det var han 30 meter, 20 meter, og så får og så er det en god hjort. Det er jeg glad for. Det er stort. Det er dejligt. Det har været en kold morgen, men det har bestemt været det værd. Jeg synes, jeg har fået varmen.
Sika is the most seldom of the 4 deer species in Denmark. The largest population is situated at the Friesenborg estate, but also Gribwood, Kantholm estate, Ormstrup estate, and recently, several of the woods in the northern part of Djursland have Sika, except for 1996 and 97, where the total number of shot was approximately 700. The harvested number of Sika holds steady at 300 to 400 a year since 1940.
Der er en ting, jeg skyder den. En anden ting, det er at få det slippet hjem. en opgave i sig selv.
Niels' hunt is almost finished. He's got himself a trophy, which not many Danish hunters are in possession of. He's also got himself a memory, which not many Danish hunters have either. The memory of the strong red stag he missed.
Jeg skudte en sika og fik skudt på en kronhjort. Men Erik har givet os lov til at komme igen, hvor vi vil prøve på hjorten. For den har jeg altså en aftale med. Så i december, hvis alt går vel, så prøver vi igen, og så skulle han gerne være der. Det glæder jeg mig til. Det har været en stor oplevelse, det her. Så store hjorte. Det ses ikke andre steder, det tror jeg ikke. Så ja, vi prøver igen.
Niels can drive home to Zealand. There is no doubt that in his mental luggage he has the unforgettable sight of the king of the wood, the largest mammal in Denmark and most of Europe, the red stag. Who knows? Maybe the stag will haunt him until his next visit at Emmersborg.
Så er jeg tilbage ved Erik Petersen oppe på Emmersborg og se om jeg kan få kontakt med den hjort, som jeg skal forbi til i november. Og vi har en 5-6 dage til det her, så jeg er meget spændt på at se, hvordan det kommer til at gå. Så vejret det er fint nu, så lad os prøve at se, om vi ikke kan redde med det.
In spite of the large population of red deer and other game, there is amazingly little damage at the wood at Emmersborg. Of course, it's not possible to avoid it at all, but stripping of barks and other kinds of damage is very limited. The sufficient amount of food plays a role here, but Erik Petersen has the theory that when red deer get very stressed because of hunting, they can start to strip the bark. The population of red deer is still increasing. The population in Denmark is approximately 4,000. In the period of 1940 to 1975, the number was only 300 to 700. As any rifle hunter knows, it's a very good advantage to have a thorough knowledge of the area you hunt in. Niels doesn't have this knowledge, but he still remembers from his first visit. Now he tries to remember where the fields are, where are the clearings in the wood, and so on. Of course, Niels needs some luck to find the stag again, and luck he finds. Fantastic. It's the stag from the hunt in November. Clearly Niels can recognize the stag from the characteristic setting at the left crown. The hunter gets his second chance. As long as Niels is crawling, he can control his nerves, but on the other side, he's vulnerable to the observant hinds. Have they discovered him? Has he spoiled his chance? No. The hind lowers her head again, and Niels continues. Now he's at the tree he wants to use for his aim. This time, everything shall be perfect. This time, nothing must go wrong. Niels releases the safety catch. This is the moment of truth. What a reaction. Niels doesn't see the impact as you can on the film, but the reaction is unmistakable. This was a good bullet. The whole herd disappears after the deadly wounded stag. The drama is over, and the hunter has had a terrific end on his long wait. Niels can unload his blazer. The stag is down and remains down. Now come all the feelings. The miss back in November, the beautiful surroundings, and the excitement of today's hunt.
Det er femte dag efter ham. Og får så endelig kontakt her til morgen. Og får afgivet et godt skud, og jeg tror han løber 50 meter, 60 meter, jeg ved det ikke. Og så ligger han her, og han har jeg godt nok tænkt på mange gange, siden jeg skød forbi i november. Det er jeg glad for det her. Dansk friland er det bedst. Det er helt suverænt det her. Ja, jeg har aldrig troet, vi skulle se ham igen, men...
Det, jeg synes, der har været så interessant, det er de andre hjorte, du har set også, mens du var på jagt efter den her.
Ja. Ja.
Det synes jeg, det er...
Jamen, og her til morgen, så meget der kommer ud til os, det er så fantastisk. Og han kommer ud også. Ja. Lige ham, det er dejligt. Ja. Ja. Det er rigtig dejligt, så jeg er en glad mand.
Ja, også, fordi at, jeg er også glad på den måde, at selvfølgelig lige nok det du fik den, fordi du har været så ihærdigt på jagt efter den, været seriøs omkring det. Og så er jeg også glad for, at det er lykkedes, det koncept med, at vi holder fred inde midt i skoven, og vores fodring og vores jagtpolitik har en bonus nu.
Ja, det kan man se.
Ja, vi har så mange dyr.
Ja.
Det er jo glad for en stor investering, det må vi jo indrømme, vi har lavet.
Ja.
Det findes i Danmark, tænk sig.
Ja.
For ikke ret mange år siden inden for vores generation, der var de næsten uddøde.
Ja.
Skudt væk.
Ja.
Hadet af mennesker.
Ja.
De prægtige dyr.
Ja.
The red deer are so beautiful. All and everyone get excited at the sight of the proud red deer, but generally most Danish hunters have the roe deer as their favorite. The roe deer is probably the most important game for the majority of Danish rifle hunters. It will be exciting to see whether more hunters will understand to adjust their hunt at the bucks more cleverly in the future. The fallow deer will without doubt increase in number more in the years to come if the goodwill concerning voluntary prohibitions in many places in Denmark have enough support. Compared to red deer, the fallow deer is much more devoted to staying in the same neighborhood. Therefore, the result of a gentler game-keeping policy will show rapidly. The population in 1940 to 1986 was 12 to 1,400 heads per year. Since 1989, the shot population has been between 3,000 and 4,000 heads. Can red deer mix with sika? In Denmark, there are no confirmed examples of this. If this is to take place, it demands very few individuals of the one species and a lot of the other. And the red deer in Denmark are big, the sika is small, which is a physical obstacle. So the Danish hunters have only to welcome this small and charming stag. The moral of this tour to Denmark is clear. If you want strong trophies, patience is the key. If more hunters would understand this, the sight of, for example, a strong red stag will no longer be limited to just a few lucky people. Take care, and take care of the game.
Ooh.